Gosh, my back is so sore. I wish that I did not spend all day in a sitting position, typing at a computer. Also, it's very hot in here. I'm finally going to turn on the air conditioning. I am broken. California, you have broke me. All right. I think I am not going to do the glitch exhibition at the moment. I'm feeling like there's a lot of really good potential. These rounds, I don't want to lose my momentum, you know? But if it starts feeling frustrating, we'll take a little break. We'll take a quick break for something. I think, so there's a streamer that I really like, retro streamer, the Daniel Rivas, I think. I think I'm saying his name right. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And when things are not going right, he does palette cleansers. He'll do a like short run of something that is just a different game than the thing that he'd been working on, to kind of reset and like move back into a different state of mind. It's a really great idea. Hey, Relax, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good night. Hope you're having a good week so far. Good, glad to hear it. Ooh, that was a little bit... I was trying to do that whole segment with the Nova so that I don't have to switch weapons here, but that's something that I would need to practice because... Ooh. Oh my god. When I'm in like a bad place, I get really mad about missing that shot. It's wild how much of a difference sleep makes in terms of just like overall attitude. You don't always realize it because like you kind of get used to the fatigue a little bit after a while, but gosh, it really wrecks with your equilibrium. Good, I'm glad to hear it, Reed. What are you up to tonight? I mean, aside from watching my stream, which again, thank you for stopping by. It's good to see you. Another 52. Just loving those 52s. I'm not being sarcastic about that. I love seeing those 52s. It's a good split for the beginning of Hundo. It's like obviously not my best work, but it's nice to see that split hold pretty steady even with mistakes. Do a redemption if I get frustrated. Oh, well, thank you. Hanging out, snuggling with the baby. The baby! Hi, baby! Trying to get her to rest a little bit outside of the crib so mom can sleep. What a good dad. Very nice. Hi, baby. Rest a little bit. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Elsa Nova's gonna sing you a lullaby. It's probably not gonna sound that restful to you because she's a big robot made for war. Since nobody redeemed Read a Children's Book last night, the 3 books on the redemption are still the Very Hungry Caterpillar, Goodnight Moon, and Moo Ba La La La. That was fine. I thought that I had beefed something a little bit there. I just got distracted. So those are the options that are available for that. Gunfire isn't a traditional lullaby thing. That is correct. I'm not going to bother reading the rest of that sentence because the first part of that sentence is so correct that the rest of the sentence is probably just not that important. All great books. Yes. We are fortunate to have a nice little library of really good kids' books. 3 singing pigs say, la la la. No, no, you say. That is right. The pigs say oink all day and night. Boop, boop, boop. I think it is pigs. I think it's a sheep says ba, a cow says moo. No. Cow says moo, sheep says ba, 3 singing pigs say la la la. I know, I've read this book many times at this point. It's not one of Ezra's favorites right now, so we're not reading it quite as much as usual, but some things just get really ingrained in your head, right? Currently, he's old enough to really love Chrysanthemum, which is long. That is a long story. I do like Chrysanthemum, though it's one of those things with the moral of the story of like, be nice to somebody because somebody else that you think is cool and want to impress might like them too. And that's not my favorite moral. Because there are definitely people who I think are cool and want to impress that like a certain retro streamer that like, anyway, I'm not gonna get into that right now. Nope. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, I hope this is the run now. That is 2 wild salvages of of first bubble in the same night. That's so cool. I feel so good about those recoveries. Of course, right, like, of course I would be the sort of person, though, that, like, nitpicks the moral of a book for very small children. Though, of course, like, they're really impressionable at that age. So. But, like, I just have feelings about things. It's me, the one with all the feelings. Oh, no. What a squid room. I have feelings about that squid room, too. Good shuttle room, though. Let's take this health because I took more damage than I wanted to. Even though it's slower, 824 exit. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Be confident in yourself and don't give a shit if the other kids don't get it. I mean, that's definitely, I think, the intended moral. But, like, the fact that the other kids kind of, like, the thing that restores her confidence is having this, like, teacher that everybody else likes declare that her name is wonderful. And, like, that's also the thing that gets the kids to turn on a dime. So it ends up, like, it's a question of, like, whoa, really? I'm having trouble with those jumps. My jump button is just, like, not having fun today. But that is totally fair. Good recovery. 934 out the door. Oh gosh. Why? Just why? Just like leaping headlong into coral. Look at me! I'm a world record speedrunner just leaping headlong into enemies. Look at all this time loss I can take. I'm showing off. That's what's going on there. It's intentional to like just show how much time loss I can absorb and still world record. What? No, why? That wouldn't be rude at all and like disrespectful. Why would you think something like that? Womp womp. Oh, ow. Ow, jeez. Not thrilled. Okay, but we ended up with a good amount of health, so. Always looked at that part of the story just being brutally accurate about how kids behave. I mean, it is. It is. But I don't necessarily think that they behave that way in a vacuum. You know, kids don't like start out knowing how to behave. They learn from us. So I always feel like it's kind of important, and this is like big stuff for world record attempt. I always feel like it's important to kind of like try to model the change that I want to see in the world for my kid. A big part of that, for example, is like he loves tickles. Big fan of tickles. But even if I know that he's going to like turn on a dime a second later and ask me to keep tickling him, if he says no more tickles, the tickles stop. Because like at this point he's like learning, like he's pushing boundaries on his side and learning what he can say no to and get away with, or like ask for and get even though he's not supposed to. And on the flip side, right, like he's learning how other people interact with him when he says no and exerts, you know, kind of his wants for himself. Sloppy. Slope. Good zombie jump. That's my feeling anyway. I don't know, I have like big parent thoughts even though I have one child that I've been like working with for almost 3 years and don't know how any of this is going to turn out. Nice. 1303. Good recovery. It's fine. It's all fine. Speaking of fine, one of the plush toys that my kid sleeps with is the This Is Fine dog. My wife got one of those plushes a while back, and it's a dog. So Ezra fell in love with it, and now it's one of his friends that sleeps in his crib with him. It's just like the This Is Fine dog, which I think is amazing. Because I feel like that's how a dog would feel sleeping in a crib with a 2-year-old, right? Like. It's fine. It's all fine. Ouch. Parenting is wild though. I'm kind of glad that we're like moving into or not like moving into, but like that we're seeing kind of the continued development of that mentality that it's like okay not to be a parent. And that's like not something that everybody has to shoot for. Like if you don't want to be a parent, you should not be a parent. Because like it is a whole entire lot. And as much as I love it, and I love my kid, like even acknowledging like all of the frustrating things, we're gonna cheap squeeze there because I'm a little distracted. Like I would definitely not trade this for anything in the world. It's like definitely not something that I think makes any sense for everyone. Like people gotta decide for themselves whether that's a thing that they are willing to take on 100% of the time. Ooh, that was very smooth. Oh, beat that boulder by a lot. Heck yes. Kids are really cool. And that's like not everybody is gonna like kids, right? There's a whole lot. Like they can be super annoying. Right? Like it's not a thing that is like interacting with kids is not a thing that everyone's gonna like. But I think, you know, for a lot of people, there's a big difference between thinking kids are like great and interesting and cool, and like fun to take care of in certain contexts, and wanting to like be a parent with everything that entails. And I think it's cool, right? Like that there are a lot more people these days that are accepting of that as like I mean, there's a lot to be said about like social cultivation of caretaking skills in terms of like gender roles, which I'm not going to get into, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I was good at it when Ezra was born either. You know, it's regardless, like being a caretaker is a skill that you develop. It's not like this thing that you're magically good at because you have a kid now. Right? Like there's no switch. It's not like that. And so building those skills as a whole, like it's a whole journey. I do think that like I have become better at like caretaking for other people in general as a result of caring for a child, but that is like certainly not the only way to build those kinds of skills. And there are definitely things about caring for a child that are completely inapplicable to caring for other people and other relationships in your life. So, but like, you're not great at it now, but you're gonna keep doing it and you're gonna get better. We all are. Like, and by all, I mean like all of the parents who are like here and putting in the effort, right? Not even all of the parents, much less all of the people. now it's time to go back to the most disturbing, relaxing part of the game. I'm really glad you think that, Wormham. Also good to see you tonight. Thanks so much for stopping by. It's really good to have you. I often feel like my experiences and opinions on things are not that useful or interesting. So she studied early childhood education and was a preschool teacher before she had kids. So it's something she always had actively built that skill set to try to get by and fake the patience that is necessary while keeping your kids alive and happy. Honestly, that is the most fundamental thing. So hey, right? I mean, I think the big thing about parenting skills or parenting stuff that I'm not really always good at, that I wish I'd like to get better at is just thinking about all of the things that need to be done and being able to actively be a participant in lockstep with my wife. So we're moving to Colorado in roughly the fall, and when we do, we are going to have to worry about daycare and school in a way that we didn't when we were in California, because we already have a daycare preschool setup that would that would carry us all the way through preschool if we were staying here. Oh cool. Well, if you're in the general the greater Denver area, we'll have to grab a beer at some point. And presumably by the time that we move out there, since the condition for us actually moving there is pandemic is over enough that researchers can return to campus, it will be safe to get a beer. Nice. Boop, boop. Boop. But so she was the one that realized and started looking into and started asking around what about all of that stuff, while I just I didn't think about it, right? And I have different skills and strengths that I bring to the table as well, but being cognizant of all of the things, all of the different things that need to happen in order for you to... Good boop. 22:34. All right. Let's go, gamers. I think it was a 23:0 something the last time that I got to Vision tonight. And so these are things that I thinking about and want to improve on eventually, and want to be better about. But we're all kind of trying to make our way, and yeah, it's just something you keep working on, right? You keep putting the effort in, you keep faking that patience and trying to keep your kids happy and healthy, and patience is also a skill that you cultivate. It's not a thing that you just have. Some people, I guess, seem like they have more inbuilt patience, but I'm not completely convinced that that's a natural thing versus a nurtural thing. Nurtural. Awesome. That's cool. I will look forward to that. I don't... I did it again. I'm doing it again. I needed to save warp. Why do I keep doing that? Yikes. It's because I'm talking, right? I don't make that kind of mistake when I'm running offline, but it's so much less fun to run offline. Offline, you're just gunning. Let's knock this out. But yeah, that's the congratulations again, and keep on keeping on. I look forward to like getting the opportunity to meet you in person. I look forward to getting the opportunity to meet so many folks in person. Like I hope a lot of people can make it to the next GDQ that we're all able to go to. Because like that, maybe like a TwitchCon or something like that. Just want to like give people hugs. I want to give people hugs and buy people beers and be bought beers by people and have stupid room parties that end way too early because I'm old now. Doing anything at all sounds nice, doesn't it though? Well, not old, but certainly older than I was during the room parties. Yeah, hugs are great. No. Get off my tail. Oh my gosh. Phantom, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hope your stream went well. Tell me what you were playing. Tell me what you were playing and how well it went. I'm sure that they will come back to being a thing once we're kind of through the woods on this. Assuming that is a thing that happens, right? Oh no. I made a mistakey. I made an oopsie doodle. You were playing Mega Man 1 again. A great game. Well, definitely a game at least. Sorry, that's lost your PB to one silly screen. It's super fun stream though. Good, I'm glad that it was fun. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Saber Mesia. I am an Axiom Verge speedrunner primarily. I am currently going for a new world record in Axiom Verge 100% no major glitches. Oh god, I did a wrong thing here. I hope this works. It worked. Yay, it worked. Love MM1, but moving on to MM2 next stream to see what all the fuss is about. Okay, that makes sense. I love Mega Man 2. Have you played Mega Man 2, or you're like investigating the fuss into the speedrun, or come on. Or have you never played it before? Is it new for you? Because I grew up on Mega Man 2. I love that game. Fuss of the speedrun. You played it. You did it a few times. Got a 38, then buggered off. Time to cry. Well, good luck with that. Mega Man 2, I looked at some of the zips in Mega Man 2 when we were doing like the zipless Robot Masters for... Come on, thank you. For Big 20. And those zips look crazy. But the music is extremely sour, please. I didn't like Mega Man 9, honestly. That's my personal opinion. is I don't like 9. Hey, Zello, thank you so much for continuing the gift sub that you got from Scooty to Fruity. Welcome back to the Glitch Witch Stitch and Bitch. Yarn and needles are not provided for you, but we do hope that you enjoyed the show, as well as your Sabera and Macia themed emotes. Hey, Cooney, good to see you. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Prefer running zipless. If you run zips, people call you a cheater. Well, if there's one thing that I love, it's cheating at video games, so, that's why I like the glitch categories in this game. I did not do Spider Heck, and I think that that will be okay. Hey, Ichi the Kitty. Hey, Cooney. Welcome everybody to the stream. Anybody who doesn't know me, very excited to have you here tonight, as I try to improve on my very sloppy but extant world record in this category. This run is definitely not going to be the, like, pinnacle of speedrunning glory, but it is hopefully going to be better. Boop, 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 boop. Had a question for me. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Let me, I'm in kind of a dicey part of the game. Phantom Meyer, thank you so much for the 2 months at Tier 1. Welcome back to the Glitch Witch Stitch and Bitch. Yarn and needles are still not provided for you with your subscription, but we do hope that you enjoyed the show, your ad-free viewing, and your suite of Sabera and Macia-themed emotes. 100% of this run with commentary that was a run-through of all the lore. Is there somewhere you can find that one? Absolutely, Reed. I will link you to that after stream is over. That was a run that I did for a Fringe Festival marathon for Edge Case Collective. The marathon was called Fuzzy Logic, and the run itself was called A Guided Tour of Sudra. Really? There we go. All right. Key room. I'm gonna go into focus mode for a bit. This is the other, like, big place that I can lose the game, is Temple. So until I get red coat, I'm going to ignore chat as much as possible. I'm easily distractible, so no promises, but oh, that was very narrow, not taking a hit there. Oh my gosh. Or in the words of George Takei, oh my. Oh yeah, no, that would be great, thank you. Oh gosh, I thought I was so smart, and then I kind of beefed getting up there. I really hope that I don't mess this up. Oh wait, I get to save warp after this, because that's how the routing in 100% works. I don't have to walk my way back out of key room. This is perfect. It is faster to save warp out here than it is to walk all the way back. Imagine extant speedruns. Indeed. That was beautiful. I'm very happy about that. Also much less deadly, yes. Save warp good, Napster bad. Hitless power node, let's go. Oh, this is such a good temple so far. I've just jinxed myself for green hell, because jinxes are real. That's like a real thing that you can do to yourself, is jinx yourself. We're gonna take a save here because we're gonna be save warping here later. Right. Flat. Oh, at least I only took a body hit there. That's actually not that bad. Iskart e Hanzu. Iskart e Hanzu. Oh gosh. We are going to be so careful here. Oh boy, that was scary. That was a scary berry. That code opens up the ceiling in that place that I went up to get the weapon. If you don't input the passcode, that's just solid wall all the way up, and you can't go in and get the weapon there. There are a couple of items in the run that you basically input passcodes while you're in a particular room, and it opens up a wall that either exposes a door or exposes some other like thing that lets you proceed somewhere that you wouldn't normally be able to. Oh heck, I forgot the note in the lobby. It is a good thing that I am saved up here because it's going to be much faster to get that from here than it is to... I actually think that now that I've already got the anchor save, it's faster to save warp than it is to like walk through the doors again and like teleport through the rooms. So we're just gonna do that. That was a little bit of a time loss. That was a little bit goofy there, but that's okay. So that was why we saved warp there, to make it faster to get that note. And we don't do that in regular Hundo because we use temple skip to do the whole temple backwards. And so instead we would save anchor here and save warp there after getting key. So that whole segment looks significantly different in Hundo NMG than it does. So now also, again, because we don't get a grappling hook until later, we now have to do this whole segment. Unfortunately, grapple room still kind of sucks even with redcoat. It's much less sucky with redcoat than it is without it, but we'll just go ahead. So now we have a grappling hook. Grappling hooks can be used for bad, but they can also be used for good. I did not successfully do the diagonal dash there. There's a cool thing that you can do in that particular area where you can, from where you are standing with the, I'm having trouble describing it, with the health node fragment, you can basically diag dash down, and it saves a little time because you're moving horizontally as well as vertically. Grappling hooks can be used for awesome, it's true. There are lots of things that we're not allowed to do with the grappling hook in the No Major Glitches run, and so I'm going to try to remember not to do any of them. I'm not allowed to grapple zip at all in any direction, even if it keeps me in the same room. I am, however, allowed to use the grapple coat mechanism, which is really nice. So we're gonna go ahead here and boop. I'm gonna go ahead and send our little drone through. Hey, Nantycat, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I know that you have many choices of where to use your Twitch Prime sub, and I'm really honored that you chose to use it here. I beefed that. I was gonna send the drone through and try to have the drone capture that square without, but instead I just wasted time. That's okay. Everything's fine. Nothing's bad, everything's fine. We are gonna go back. I'm not gonna go through the upper door because I do need to go through Katrahaska's chamber. Oh no, absolutely not. Let me contextualize a bit. Ooh, rocket jump to get tiles. Don't mind if I do. Bye, Gertab. You just gave me money while I am playing a video game for you on the internet, and there is literally no time that I would ever complain about that, ever. It would be incredibly rude of me to do so, in fact. Like, I super appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like, honestly, it never gets old to hear that subscription sound, and I never ever stop appreciating it. All of the support is just like, it's much wonderful. All right, I got the good cycle on that one. I sometimes forget how I'm supposed to do that room and like muck it up. But I'm glad that I did not that time. Okay, so I am allowed to do this. Grapple coat and the living's easy. There is a save room down here, and I am actually going to save anchor here. When you have glitches available to you, there's a cool thing that you can do to avoid the save warp that involves, and that whole sequence actually starts all the way back at Uku, skipping that with a void warp. But you can't do that in No Major Glitches because that would be glitches. So instead, we are going to route these rooms a little bit differently than we would otherwise. And grab things in a slightly different order. And then we're gonna save warp kind of at the end of all of that zigzagging. Because this whole segment is like nonsense zigzaggy. And I also actually, like, I slopped this up a little bit, but I ended up working out okay. So now I managed to collect all of the items and all of the map tiles in this room, and so we are basically going to go in this little mini dungeon here. We're going to clear the mini dungeon out, and then once we get done with the mini dungeon, we're just going to save warp out. Everybody loves save warps. 100% warpless would be a nightmare, and I hope nobody ever does it. Like, I just hope nobody ever thinks that that's a category that they would want to do, because I will try to get a world record in that as well, and it will be so little fun. And thank you, Nancy. I really appreciate that. I have played this game for entirely too many hours. I have probably put, I don't know, close to 750 hours total, maybe even more, into this game at this point. And that's not, like, plenty of people have spent more time on that on a video game. Like, I just, like, thinking about how much time Arcus has spent running Ninja Gaiden, a game with a maximum run length that is I think I did this wrong. Yeah, I routed this wrong. Womp womp. I made a little mistake. It's okay. It's not anything that I can't fix. It's just, it'll cost me a little bit of time. Because I can't use any of the sick tricks that one might use to right this wrong in the glitched version of the run. But what I can do is not try to... Why did I do that? Oh my gosh, too many egg hatches. Alright, it's time for hypnotic movement percent. Alright, we're gonna stop real quick and grab a save over here. Alright. And now, lots of fun times begin. So we bop in and through there and through there. Bop through this. I'll grab that address bomb on the way back, just to, like, stop myself from losing the groove over here. I love the endgame movement in this. This is easily... Cleanup is, I think, probably a little more boring to watch than the rest of the run, but you get to spend a whole lot of time doing cool movement tricks. And I think that's... It's just... It feels very freeing. Did beef that a little bit there. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna try real hard not to crash out. So the next room after this one, there is a crash bug that can activate in that room. That was really... I felt really good about that movement. And I'm going to try really hard to make sure that it doesn't show up. Okay. So now we're gonna fall straight down here and we're gonna walk out. We're not gonna use any fancy movement there. Something in that room about, I don't even know what it is, can cause the game to crash. We made it through that. That is the, I think, last major hurdle in the run to cover. Everything else is pretty free at this point, except for just like dealing with the potential time loss aspect of things. Oh, and I didn't route that correctly because I almost used a major glitch. I'm glad that I caught myself though, because that would have been unfortunate. I think the mods would get away with letting me just like take the time loss intentionally to make up for it, but I would rather not have to. And I would also like rather not speculate on what the mods would allow me to do to like be keeping with the rules. Boop. Grab this. Getting into this box is actually one of the hardest tricks in the game. Like you're doing so much mid-air movement to get there. And you have to like, you're dashing, but you're also falling at kind of top speed. And hey, new follower, welcome to the Glitch Witch Stitch and Bitch. Yoni needles are not provided for you, but we do hope that you enjoy the show. As always, all follower notifications are anonymized to protect the sanctity of the lurk. We're gonna go ahead and do something real quick. That is called Spider Heck. So this is Spider Heck, not to be confused with Ant Hell. It's called Spider Heck because there's so many spiders. Heck. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're basically just going to boop, boop, boop. And save warp. All right, now we're going to ride our big head friend Araka, who I skipped riding earlier because I'm like trying to route around some mistakes that I made. And we are gonna ride Araka back over to Kerr, and we're gonna run in place on Araka's head and give her head scritchies because we love Araka. She goes fast. She's our best girl. We want to make her feel loved, and so head scritchies it is. So now I am going to the Room of Pain. The reason that I did not go to this earlier, the reason that I come back for this, is because walking out of the Room of Pain is slow. Oops, I'm doing the wrong thing. And what we want to do instead is just save warp it. And in order to do that, we need to basically come at here from a slightly different angle than we would otherwise. We're gonna go ahead and send our little droney drone through a little tunnel over here. Drill, 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 and health node fragment. And then we're gonna go ahead and call our drill friend back over here and just start dashing our way through these blocks to enter into the Room of Pain. The Room of Pain is so called. Lex, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 gift sub to Zaffikel. Zaffikel, welcome to the Glitch Witch Stitch and Bitch. Yarn and needles are not provided for you, but we do hope that you enjoyed the show, your ad-free viewing, and your Severa and Macia themed emotes. So normally you have to glitch those krill and use them as platforms, or at least that's kind of the intended route. But if you have drone teleport and you have a red coat, then you don't have to do any of that. So the Room of Pain is not quite as painful. And we'll just go over here and then we will save warp. This brings us back here to do some more cleanup. So there are lots of map tiles in this area that we just have not taken care of cleaning up yet. Oops, I missed one. So we go like this, and we're just gonna just keep flipping back and forth like that until we get over here. Grab that map tile, grab these map tiles, and we are out. This is almost every map tile in Indie. Ooh, really? Had a little bit of trouble with that one. And this is going to take us back to the big wraparound on our cleanup expedition, which is here in Ereboo. We're wrapping around right back to the starting area and starting the great cleanup mission. I'm just gonna boop our way up this. We'll come back for that later. There is a different way of routing that shaft where you actually take that little mini dungeon behind that breach pocket early on that I do in a unrestricted 100% run. If you're allowed all the glitches, then it's faster to do that and have that pop you up the shaft. But there is actually a really cool trick that you can do that is not a major glitch that was pioneered by Orloff, who is just absolutely excellent 100% runner, one of my big inspirations. And it's called the Orloff drop. And the way that it works basically is you drop an address bomb to clear out the breach, and then after you've done that, you basically set Trace up to fall as you launch the drone into the drone tunnel. The drone goes in, clears out the map tiles and the items, and then you just recall it to Trace, who has already fallen to the bottom of the floor. We're gonna go ahead and input our next passcode to get the greatest of primordial fires, Dinger Gispar. And that is the flamethrower, which is the item that we are going to use as our primary weapon for the entire rest of the run. The flamethrower is the most powerful weapon in the game. We love our flamethrower. Not the one provided by the Boring Company, Jesus Christ, but I actually could have grapple coded there. I didn't need to do this the way that I did it. It's fine. Nothing bad happened. I lost a little bit of time, probably like a couple of seconds at most. We'll take that time loss. We'll take that time loss for me not thinking about grapple coat as a viable option. But getting flamethrower at the sub-hour mark and like being this far into Ereboo cleanup makes me pretty happy. I like this a lot. I'm interested in this. Oh, oops. I actually do need to... I don't have any other way to get the item in this room except to just go for it. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Ah. Hatching an egg, hatching an egg. Instead of doing good, I'm hatching an egg. You never got the flamethrower on your playthrough? It is extremely hard to find. All of the passcode things are, frankly. Like, a lot of the passcodes are hidden in obtuse places, and the flamethrower passcode is probably the, like, least obtuse. Shoot. There we go. This is the one passcode that we don't use in the glitched version of the run because we have a better or a faster way of getting into this area using glitches. So that's the passcode that I like always forget. What is it again? Oh right, Ikabu Labiru. Ikibu Labiru. Ikabu Labiru. Ikabu Labiru. And then that pops us out right here again. Yeah, and it's just impossible without the passcode. There's nothing that you can do. Even with the advent of glitches, you can't skip passcode tool for flamethrower. It is a wily little evasive little. Right. There is one more thing that we need to grab, or there's a couple more things that we need to grab on our way out of Ereboo. There is the stuff, the weapon that is inside that breach pocket mini dungeon in the shaft on the way out of here. You looked it up and tried to cheat. So I just dropped Trace down the shaft. The drone is gonna just like walk through this door. And waltz on in and grab this. And then I'm gonna recall the drone and Trace will have dropped some ways down the shaft. And like that, basically. So like already at the bottom of the shaft, so that's really nice. That's a nice little time save. And then in here, we're going to pop in our last passcode of the run, which is Dalku Subtum, the tum of a sub. And that opens up this door that allows us to go here. Oh. Was a little too overeager. Come on. Thank you. All right, quick check. That's everything in Ereboo, both map tiles and items. So for reference, if you don't know how I know that, in the map, when you have completed everything in an area that the game counts for percentages, it displays dots, a yellow one for item collection and a purple one for map, I believe. I always forget which one is which, but basically I look for both dots, and I saw them. They were in there. Now I know that I got everything in that area. In Ereboo. We'll just come down here and pop this here and boop you over here and boop and boop. And grab this note. That brings us back here so that we can just grab this. This is the data bomb, which is not to be confused with the address bomb. They are very different from one another. It is actually a pretty cool weapon, but it does not see a lot of use in any of the speedruns because it's just not powerful enough compared to other weapons that we have access to. So there are 20 different weapons available to us in speedrun mode. We use 4 of them in the 100% runs, and we use 3 of them in any percent. So that's just to give you an idea of the like relative merit of the different weapons in the game. One of the things that which ones do we use? So we use the Address Disruptor, which is the very first weapon that you get, which is required. Yeah, it's the 3 required ones for any percent, which is, so Address Disruptor is the very first weapon in the game. The second weapon in the game, Nova, which is required to hit some switches. We don't use it for a lot aside from that, though. If you Rare Beef, who is the like big glitch master in the community and also a big fan of the Nova, tries to fit it in where it's possible to use, because under certain circumstances it is the highest DPS weapon in the game. Kilver is kind of our bread and butter weapon for most of all of the runs, the short range lightning gun. And then for 100%, the only other weapon that we actually make use of is the whatchamacallit, the flamethrower, which is the thing that I'm equipped with right now. Flamethrower. Yeah. No, I did this wrong. I should have thrown that bomb as soon as I got in here. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing is bad. Nothing bad happened. Flamethrower. Boop. If I were smart, I actually would have saved at the chamber outside of Elsa Nova and save warped back there, I think. But it's not that the other weapons are bad. They're all, many of them are like useful in their own right. And if you're playing on the randomizer, there's lots of usefulness to be gained from knowing how to use them. And it does create a really interesting and sort of unique additional experience to run with stuff outside of the usual speedrun set. It's just it's largely about ease of use and DPS, right? So outside of Nova, Kilver is the highest DPS weapon in the game, and it's also really easy to chain together with the drill. But because it's short range and it's a little bit unwieldy sometimes, Flamethrower ends up being better in the end game because it has a longer range on it. You can keep it on enemies for longer, and it's just easier to hit things with. Right, like I can just hold down the button. Like I could literally just be using Flamethrower for the entire rest of the run, and it would never change anything else that I do almost. So the rest of the weapons have certainly have their applications in certain contexts. So I wouldn't say that they're bad. Just that like for speedrunning purposes, they're not as useful as they could be. Also, we don't get to see any of the, you can also safe strats the end fight with Flamethrower if you are in a category that allows out-of-bounds stuff. You can just grapple coat your way up on top of the final boss fight, like outside of the room, and it's not possible for the donuts to hit you at that point. Like they can't get out of the room, and because Flamethrower passes through walls, it's basically just like it's free real estate. So that's the deal with the last boss fight and Flamethrower. You can also do that with Scissor Beam, and you can actually also do it with the worst weapon in the game, the Reverse Slicer. So there's something, if you ever wanted to know what weapons are eligible for safe strats, it's you can also do it with Fat Beam, I guess, so I shouldn't like. Reverse Slicer is the literal last weapon in the game. It is found after Zetter Hull, but before you go into the room with all of the disco balls right before Athetos. And it's the boomerang, yeah, that's Reverse Slicer. Yay, diagonal dashes. Oh gosh, I do a thing that involves Is there a definitive worst weapon? There is a definitive worst weapon, and it is Reverse Slicer. Reverse Slicer is basically a joke weapon. Like, it was kind of put in there as sort of an homage to the fact that Axiom Verge 2 is taking inspiration from Zelda 2, apparently. Which I'm very excited about. I'm like really excited to see how different Axiom Verge 2 is, because it's not going to be as much, like, this definitely has like run and gun inspiration in it, and it's going to be really interesting to see what the next iteration of this looks like without as much of that run and gun. Like, it looks like it's much more focused on... looks backwards. It's just a different graphical style. It also takes place in some questionable reference to whatever time in the Axiom Verge universe this game takes place in. So, you know, it's sort of is what it is, right? Tom is interested in making something that's not just more of the same Axiom Verge, and so that includes, I think, switching up the art style, I would guess. Should be able to play as a Rusalka. I think it would be interesting to explore the Rusalki's story more, but a game in which you can play as a Rusalka would be a wildly different game. It would be interesting to see what a Metroidvania as a Rusalka would look like. You know, if they're like machines, then maybe they can like be put into different bodies. I don't know. One of the things that I think is really cool about the idea of switching it up for Axiom Verge 2 is that like it really does pay homage to this like weird second child syndrome that NES games had, like Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, SMB 2 in the United States, where like there was a lot of like trying to like experiment with the formula. I love Zelda 2. I'm big there with you, Zero. So like I love a lot of those like weird experimental things. I think about this a lot with like 90s JRPGs too. Like on the PlayStation there was a lot of weird experimental kind of like weird combo point systems and things like that. And all of those things were a little bit like, they were awkward. Many of them didn't work quite the way that they wanted them to, or the way that I wanted them to work, but they were cool and they were different and they were really interesting. You know what, I want to make sure. I missed something in Kerr. I missed map tiles in Kerr. Where did I miss? Wait, did I miss an item in Kerr? I missed an item in Kerr. I know exactly where I missed it too. That's a big pain. I'm gonna have to go back for it. It's fine-ish, but it is a big pain. Yeah, Zelda 2, Zelda 2 has a certain kind of difficulty associated with it that's like, right, the game is pretty, opaque about a lot of things, and, right, like the leveling and everything. Hey, Aha Shake, welcome to the stream, good to see you. But like, considerations about the leveling are one of those things. And also like, oh gosh, some of those dungeons are really brutal. Thanks. I was supposed to save here because of the way that I routed this out. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna focus up a little bit while I try to fix my mistake. All right, we're not gonna do that anymore. I was trying to diagonal dash my way out of that, which is a little bit faster if you do it correctly on the first try, but slower if you miss it. It's not really worth it. I shouldn't really be doing that. It's something that I would do in TAS, but that was extremely awkward and slow. Womp womp. Yes. Anyway, I love Zelda 2. I think it's like many NES games, many games of the era. It has rough points that makes it difficult under the circumstances that a lot of us would be playing it as kids, right? And as adults, it's like pretty straightforward to kind of pick up. Ouch! Just banged my hand on my other camera. Pick up things that make it much more. Oh no. Much more doable, but it's definitely Axiom Verge 2 Revenge of Dr. Hammond. You remembered Dr. Hammond! You're one of a very small number of people I know who would actually remember Dr. Hammond. This is actually a pretty big time loss. I'm kind of annoyed at myself for this. We'll make it work. I can't believe that I forgot. I think I actually forgot two things. Yeah, I forgot this. Forgot all of the items in this room. You just finished 100%ing the game today. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, that's everything. All right, let's go. What an expensive trip. Ion beam. This weapon is kind of fun, but it's just not as good as the flamethrower. But it's so fun. Oops. Hatching eggs all over the place. I have this eerie feeling that I'm not going to PB. Alright. I love me some address bomb strats. Go through the door, thank you. Go ahead and up. Boop. Oh, nope. That was a little bit of blunk. And boop. And boop. Boop. And grab this and zoom back. And there we go. I always hate it when I don't do that right. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a quick save here. Hey, Mex. Nice wealth. What about booty boop? Oh, we don't booty boop here without consent. Wee boop. Boots and cats. Boots and cats and boots and cats. I actually got everything in Z, right? I missed map tiles in Eden. Heck. Wow. Gosh, I really don't know if it's possible to PB at this point with all of that. We're gonna try. We're gonna finish the run. I just don't know if it's gonna happen. If it does happen, that means that there will be lots of free time save for next time. Thank you, Max. I appreciate your belief in me. All right, just to make sure that I'm going to the right place. All right. I should have checked the map before I did that, of course. All right, we're okay. We're okay. Nice. I don't usually get that. I apologize for the loudness of this. This is a nice thing that was fixed in the rando, which is just that like metallic ping. Bum, ba-na-na-na. Oh, yikes. Alright. I need to glitch you. You need to come over here. And I think there is about where I want you. Yes. No, 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 don't. Okay. Whew. Yikes. Puzzle solving. All right. All right. Let's, hopefully I get the kill on Zetter hull correctly. Please die, thank you. All right, and we out. I think we're in the clear. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that we're in the clear for a multi-minute PB at this point. Maybe not, because this does take a little bit. Reverse slicer. Okay, good. I was actually, in fact, looking at Maruru. As we all know, PB stands for Princess Bee. You know, like a bumblebee. Don't get too hyped yet, but yes, it looks like PB hype. But you wanted big chunky peanut butter. Well, don't worry, I'll still make you jelly. Super incoming PB. Okay, good. I got all of the stuff in the area. I just wanted to double check. All right, and in the spirit of the run, we will not go out of bounds. We're just gonna hang out. You'll have to kill me too. No, I won't. That is a 128.43, I think. Hold on, hold on. We have to validate. Items 100%, map 100%, death count 0. That is a world record.